Look, we self-destruct when chasing bucks. Machines taking the jobs from all of us. They want no lunch, no raise, and they don't cuss. A well-oiled machine, only problem is rust. Do you got a problem with us? All these machines can be hacked to the touch. None of this shit I don't trust. Getting info, I ain't wanna give up. How you gonna have a world without the people? How you gonna have a world without the people? How you gonna have a world without the people? How you gonna have a world without the people? War's probably coming in months. Nigga got an arsenal in the trunk. We dropping nukes as I'm dropping the blunts. The future leaders, they all out to lunch. Why they get a country away? Corporations got what they want. Try to take my money away. Better get lower than tongue. Sometimes I sit back and I wonder, will this life ever take me under? True. You think I'm crazy if you wanna. Sometimes I sit back and I wonder, I see the real. It's in you. Niggas got a problem with that. Niggas got a problem. Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So, word on the curb, I'm sure all y'all have heard at this point. Paulie Malignaggi getting fired from Showtime. It's said that Paulie Malignaggi got fired for some racist comments that he made in an interview with IFL TV. We know Paulie Malignaggi had an opportunity to apologize for the comments that he did make on IFL TV, and he refused to apologize for those comments. And those comments were one of many, I guess you can say, for Paulie Malignaggi. You know, a lot of people running around out and they're saying, well, I don't think what Paulie said was that bad. I mean, he's entitled to his own opinion. He's entitled to his own opinion. The thing is that Paulie is a paid analyst that represents the Showtime brand. So what that means is, and he's in show business. So when Paulie is out and abroad, yeah, he may be on his personal time, but when he steps on podcasts and he goes on, you know, and he also represents Sky Sports, but he steps on podcasts or he does interviews and things like that, he has contracts. He is obligated to a brand, which means that you're representing that brand when you are out abroad and doing these interviews. So when Paulie is saying all of these comments at a racially charged time such as today, well, it gets extra attention, if you will. And when you look at over the course of time, all of the comments that Paulie Malignaggi has said, from dismissing racism to not existing, to going out of his way to explain where black people sit in the eras of boxing, and, you know, just all of the things that he said over time, just racially insensitive things, it all paints a picture. You know what I'm saying? It starts to put a picture together. Yeah, you can take this one interview and say, well, I don't think this is so bad. But then when you take this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, and then you put it all together, and then you start to stand back and you look at it and you say, hold on, it's a pattern evolving here. And it seems to me that every time we turn around, Paulie Malignaggi got something to say against black people. And that's just the facts of the matter. You ain't got to be a person that, you know, man, I don't get involved in all this race stuff, man. I'm just here for the sport, you know. Yeah, cool. That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong. You know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But in this case, it's not a PC thing. It's not a the world's picking on Paulie type thing. It's Paulie brought this on himself. He should have shut his mouth. Shut his mouth. Paulie says that institutional racism doesn't exist. It's just systematic corruption. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I mean, saying that racism doesn't exist in 2020. Why? Paulie alt-right views basically is coming out in full force. And we all gotta wonder, like, you know, what's up with Paulie, man? We all know that Paulie and Deontay Wilder don't see eye to eye. Deontay Wilder said he's left Showtime because of how he was being treated over Showtime. And one of the main culprits that he named in some of his rants was Paulie Malignaggi, saying that Paulie Malignaggi was doing bad commentating, painting a bad picture to the people, especially to a lot of the casual fans who may come to the sport and don't know much about the sport. And that's something that I always charge to people say he on YouTube, and they take advantage of the casual minds. And Wilder felt as though that Paulie Malignaggi was doing the same thing. Now, in that case right there, I believe that Paulie is entitled to his own opinion. When it comes to the actual fight game, if Paulie don't believe that Wilder's that dude, he ain't got to believe that Wilder's that dude. If Paulie don't believe that Manny Pacquiao is a clean fighter, he ain't got to believe that. That's boxing talk. But then when Paulie ventures outside of that box, and then, like I said before, you start to put all his comments together, it starts to paint a picture. It just do. So I ain't got no remorse for Paulie. Get the hell out the sport. It is what it is. Get the hell off Showtime. Now, he still has his job with Sky Sports, so he'll still be, from what I understand, still commentating on Sky Sports, which it is what it is. Now, I will say this. Paulie is a talented analyst in a way. I always liked him when he called fights. Some people believe he had bias, and they didn't, you know, they don't, most boxing fans don't want to hear biased commentators. Now, a lot of the guys on TV, they look at us on YouTube and they see how we talk with freedom and we can say what we want to say because we're boxing fans for the most part. And we can do that. They can't. They're employees. They're representing a brand. They can't just run around and willy-nilly express their emotional rants and stuff like that all the time. One thing about guys like Brian Custer always is measured. He knows who cuts his checks, and he knows how far to push that line. You know what I mean? It's one thing I respect about Brian Custer. But, you know, people may say, well, man, you know, you don't want that man to be a company man. He ain't got to be a company. It ain't about being a company man. It ain't about that. He signed on the dotted line. You signed up to be a boxing analyst, which means that you need to keep it boxing for your livelihood and for their brand. That's what you signed on the dotted line to do. Ain't none of us do that on YouTube. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Now, I've always wondered over time, like, why did so many entities give Paulie so much platform? Now, maybe because he was so entertaining, because his brand of commentating or his brand of talking or his brand of entertainment was definitely in demand when he first retired. He came onto the scene, he started calling fights, and people was loving his way he called fights because he was calling it real sharp. I mean, when it comes to calling a fight game, I give Paulie credit for that. But he was always emotional. Like, you seen that play out in his fights, like after the Bronner fight. That's my side piece. That's my side piece. That's my side piece. Don't talk about my side piece. He was always emotional. You know, that he's one of our guys. He's one of our guys. I never understood it. I always used to say this. He, right there after the Adrian Bronner fight, blew up PBC and Al Heyman and the whole stuff. The only reason he won because he's one of our guys. We all know how this go. He's one of our guys. I never got it. So he came out talking against PBC or against Al Heyman, and then they turned around and gave him a job where he commentated the PBC fights. And on top of that, he even fought a couple more fights after that under the PBC banner. You know what I mean? So I never understood it, man. You know, it's like he showed y'all exactly what he was and who he was from the jump. He was always this outspoken, brash type dude and loose lips, sink ships type dude. Always have been. Paulie ain't much filter with Paulie Malignaggi, and never really have been. But the people knew this. And they still gave him a job. And that made me look at the PBC a little sideways, like, huh? And that's what I didn't understand. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Paulie Malignaggi got to pay for his comments. that he's made over time. Now, the one comments in particular, like I said on the IFL TV interview, that they are singling out in this situation, I don't think they were that bad. I mean, he was responding to the Devin Haney situation when Devin Haney said what he said or whatever like that. So, you know, I don't really, but I just think as a collection and as a whole, yeah, he painted a picture of himself. And he definitely showed his alt-right views. And yeah, he's possibly racist. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit here and deny that. Paulie said a lot of stuff that really surprised me, shocked me. But then again, if you know the part of the world where Paulie Malignaggi comes from, maybe you shouldn't be as surprised. You know the part of Jersey he comes from, you know what I mean? But real spill. But it is what it is. We moving forward. We'll see him over there on Sky Sports. Don't know how long he gonna hang in over there. Paulie been kicking it with these Europeans so much lately, man, that he probably lost himself somewhere in there, man. Paulie is just, you know, he doing movies and doing all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? It is what it is with Paulie, bro. See you later. Get the hell out of Showtime. Get the hell out of the sport. You know, we won't see Paulie no time soon of his on Sky Sports. It is what it is. Moving right along to the next video. Much love to the fam. Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Paulie Malignaggi gets canned by Showtime for racially charged comments that he had no business even making. He should have just kept it boxed. Stupid. To the next video.